I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we meet today on stolen Aboriginal land, the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I want to acknowledge that this always was and always will be Aboriginal land, and pay respect to the Aboriginal people, their elders past and present, who never gave up the fight for this land. Our session today is a very important one, and I think we're very lucky to have here not one but two incredible fighters for justice. Mamdouh Habib sitting here next to me, and his wife and partner in struggle, Mamdouh Habib, sitting here in the front. And I particularly want to thank Maha for her hard work in organising and helping to make this event actually take place. So I want to say, before we hand over to the guest of honour, so to speak, I want to say a few things about him. He's been in the news a lot, as you know, and very recently there are a number of things by a person I don't think I even knew existed before this, the Inspector General for Intelligence and Security, a woman called Vivienne Thom. And she just made a report to the government. Well, she actually didn't just make it. The government's had the report since December, but they have decided to reveal that they have this report, a very embarrassing report for them, much more recently. And I think perhaps the part of the report, there's a series of recommendations in it, and the government, I think, is pretty much bound to do their utmost to ignore each and every one of those recommendations. But there's one recommendation in particular that Julia Gillard has already said flat out, no way. And that was the recommendation that an apology be made to Mamdouh Habib for the fact that the government consistently told her and her children nothing about what was happening to Mamdouh when they knew full well what was happening. No apology. And so that's the kind of situation that in some ways it's just the latest incarnation of a whole series of things that have happened to Maha, to Mamdouh, going back to the kidnapping, and I think that's really the appropriate word, of Mamdouh back in 2001. And from the little that we already know of this report from this Direct Inspector General for Intelligence and Security, there are a number of things to like in it. Obviously the recommendation for an apology, how little is that? But at least that's a recommendation to like. I think the fact also that the report makes a fairly good job of the former ASIO head, Dennis Richardson, puts him in it for, well, actually, you knew things and you deliberately did nothing. I think this speaks volumes, not just about ASIO, but about the Australian state in general. I think there's an underlying racism that comes out fairly clearly in this, that Mamdouh might have been an Australian citizen, but he really wasn't, was he? We knew he wasn't really Australian. Look at him, God, he looks Arab. So I think that underlying racism, it's there in all of this stuff, that really the Australian government, let's face it, doesn't care about most of its citizens. Working class people are not the people that the Australian government is there to help in any case. But I think there's that added dimension of, well, after all, we don't really care about some people even more than we don't care about most people. There's this whole series of things, and I don't want to preempt what Mamdouh's going to say himself. But I think it is worth saying how little the government cared about his torture, about his rendition, that's a lovely euphemism, isn't it? His kidnapping from Pakistan in November 2001, and the time that he spent, years and years and years, in that notorious hellhole Guantanamo Bay, where the Australian government, because again, partners in crime, the crime of the war in Afghanistan, and before that the war in Iraq, partners in crime with those who run Guantanamo Bay, of course the Australian government did nothing about the incarceration of Mamdouh Habib in that place. And he's written a wonderful book, and there are copies of the book, signed copies of the book, available at the back of the room, I think. The book is called My Story, The Tale of a Terrorist Who Wasn't. And I heartily recommend people buying it and reading it. If you can't buy it, borrow it, but read it. because it will affirm your faith in human beings who do not give up, who resist, who never say that, no, they've beaten me. And I think, again, Mamdouh and Maha are really prominent amongst those kind of people. I think my favourite bit in the book is horrifying to read, actually. It's when Mamdouh is in Guantanamo Bay and he's there pretty much stripped naked, left in his cell by himself, the torture of solitary confinement, being treated like an animal, really. And he makes the point in the book about how whatever it was they asked him to do, even if he actually wanted to do it, he refused. And it's really a marvellous account, I think, of a person maintaining a human dignity, that no request they gave him, even when it was something he wanted to do, he never complied with any of those requests. He kept his humanity by resistance, and I think that's an inspiration to all of us. And then, of course, he got out. And I'm sure the government, even though they didn't care if he got out, but I'm sure when he did get out, the government probably breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, at least they'll shut up about Mamdouh Habib now. They were wrong. That Mamdouh and Maha have never shut up. They have never stopped crying out for justice. Not only justice for themselves. I have lost count of the number of demonstrations, protests, rallies, pickets, meetings and so on that I have been at in Sydney where, without knowing I'd meet them there, of course, there's Maha over there, there's Mamdouh there, there's their children with them. They have been tireless campaigners, not only around fighting for their own rights, but seeing this as part of a fight for the rights of others. It was really wonderful at the beginning of the Egyptian revolution last year to be at a demonstration, and of course we must remember Mamdouh is Egyptian, that Mamdouh wanted to speak. It was appalling that some of the people at the demonstration didn't want to hear him, but we managed to make him heard anyway. We found a PA and he spoke, and I think that was just an indication of the kind of solidarity with the struggles of others that have characterised his ongoing campaign for justice in his own case. And so, without further ado, I'll hand over Mamdouh Habib.
I'm really thank you for coming, and I try to say she's talking about stolen land. That's in Australia, but we're talking about stolen human being and land as well. Same. They finish with the stolen land because no land anymore to store, but now we're stolen human being and take him a different country for torture. The problem is the Australian government. They are the biggest court, they say, for human rights here in Australia and for discrimination. Well, my understanding was, say, Australia is the best country in the law and justice, and I was mistaken. When I was kidnapped and taken to Egypt, I was believed it's a joke or drugs, or it's not true. But I find out it's really true, and people from the government, they say me, they hand me over, and they cover in the face like people robbing bank or stealing, shopping, and this is the same people in the government. I say the Australian official, his name, I mention his name all the time, and I've done a big mistake in this book. I should put his name, but the writer tell me don't put his name, we have to change it as a different Philip, whatever. But we put his name in the beginning as Alistair Adam, and after we mention his name Philip, because he came in the court, lie, in front of my own face, in front of the court, and he sworn. And he said, I swear to God, I never see this person in my life. He is ambassador, Australian ambassador in Pakistan. He lawyer. Julia Collingwood, she's a lawyer. The ASU is the biggest lawyer. And if anyone ASU official here, I'm telling him to get out of this room. Get out, because we're gonna take you and we interrogate you, we put you in torture like what you do with people. Because we're not fear of you anymore. We understand who you are, as you is just name, threaten, and just taking information for their own benefit. It's not for the citizen. Australian government, they encourage these people to watching for their own benefit. But now they're scared of each other because they know what's going on inside the government. As is a group of people just to spy internal and outside to us to get information for their own benefit. It's not for even for Australia, for America or for Britain, and they sell the information overseas. They spy against us. This group of people is a criminal, and we ask Australian government to put him in jail. But now what we can do, if they run the country, they can't do much, but I still gonna fight. Now next step, and I'm telling you with my guarantee, I will take the ASIO court in names. I will take him in court. And I'm not gonna let go with the ASIO what they did to me, ever. Not only for me, for everybody. ASIO have to be charged like anyone in this country. They are, as a human being, they are employed by the government to protecting us, not protecting themselves, not protecting the people in the parliament. What these people done to me and the other people, and more, you have no idea about it. Australian government was interested to keep me overseas, to keep me shut up, but they couldn't do it. When I read this report, if you believe me or not, Australian government wasn't know. They think they give me some amount of money and they shut me up and let go. I agree 100%. I settled the case with the government because I try to make you understand. A lot of people say, why you didn't go court? I couldn't. The lawyer against me, the government against me, I got family, I got lawyer overseas, I got investigator, they do the work for me. I need a lot of money to keep continuing. Only chance to have, I have to play smart with this government and with the lawyers as well, because they play smart with me. And what I did, I settled the case. Whatever amount of money, I settle it. But I know because I'm settled, is I have too many issues. I'm gonna get some money to fight, and I did tell the government that. I'll get some money from them to fight them. And I'm gonna get more money from them to fight more against them. The Prime Minister says no money more, no more policy. To me, policy doesn't mean money. Because policy is not gonna kiss my wife's head, they're gonna tell her sorry. No, they're gonna give some money. She said no policy. I will make him policy. They will. Because I have a good power from God. It's not from anybody else. From power, they help me out because I am an innocent person and I haven't done anything wrong. And I will fight them until the last minute of my life. And last drip in my blood. And I got it. And I have attention. The Australian government said, Mr. Habib, in 2000, he is being picked up in the border of Afghanistan. I was informed of that in Egypt. When the Mukhabarat take me, or agency in Egypt, they take me in Egypt and say, Mr. Habib, your government paying us $10 million to keep you here until you die. Are you finished? I say, thank you, it's finished. It's all right. What do you want me to do? Do you want information? I say, what information for? I give you nothing. Well, you've been paid. I can't pay you. I don't have this amount of money. The government give you $10 million. $10 million to send me for torture. Gilead doesn't want to give me even half this price for polishing. Is that fair? No reply. Is that fair? No, I want to hear it. Is that fair? No. $10 million to get torture. What about me to get apology? Nothing? Is that not fair? I believe. Well, I asked him same amount to give back to me. or take it from Egypt because Egypt haven't done proper job. Well, now I have a case against the Egyptian government. I have some people from the Peace Group and the other people too as well. They came with me in Egypt last year. And people tell me, if you go to Egypt, they will kill you. I wasn't scared. We went to Egypt. We did sue Hosni Mubarak and his son and the minister of the ASIO or Mukhabarat, Egyptian Amr Suleiman. We took him court in Egypt. We run the case now. We went to military court. We have one lady, her name Simone, she was with us. We was in the front of the military, Egyptian military court. People doesn't believe that. They say, you're gonna shoot you. So it doesn't matter. If they shoot me, it's gonna be more anger of people. They will understand there's a crime there. But they didn't. I'm back in Australia and I'm still fighting. And I have a court case very soon coming in Egypt. And I still fight. I'm telling you what surprised me. ASIO, is anybody ASIO here? They ask me before I go to Egypt. They tell me, Mr. Habib, we worry about you. We give you a passport. We give you a passport, but please don't go to Egypt. Because they're gonna kidnap you. But they're not gonna afford the money anymore. It's not more 10 million. And he invited me, actually, me and my wife, and he gave me good coffee, but no drugs in it. It was a good hotel in Sydney, and he invited us for just to give me advice. If I go to Egypt, I will be kidnapped. I said, I got my wife and my kids. That's gonna be good company. It's no big deal. Thank you very much. And we did went to Egypt, but he was worried for me. His name David Holden, but today he's David Datsun, and tomorrow it's gonna be David Toyota, and day after it's gonna be David Mazda. So that's the ASIO, invisible people, and is lying. He's worried about me. If I go to Egypt, I will be kidnapped. Because, and the other day he told me, please leave Amr Suleiman alone. He's a good man. Why Australia to do with the agency in Egypt? I'll tell you some secret. Do you want a secret? Yeah. I want $1 each. Did you know Australian government, they have a big company to bring gold from Egypt to here? Anybody aware of that? Yes. Oh, someone. Only one say yes? Oh, there's this lady, but no, I think look like Egyptian. and I think she's too much in the internet. My lawyer in Egypt, last week or 2 weeks ago, he informed me and he said, Mr. Habib, you told me you've been kidnapped and it's a private flight. I said, yes. He said, where do you think you went? I said, military, maybe military place. He said, no. You was in a private airport in Egypt. I belong as a businessman, his name is Sukkari. And this man, he's the biggest businessman. Between him and Australia, they're selling gold. And Australia have a big company. And this airport, when you landed to Egypt, and this man, he worked as an agency in Egypt. But my lucky is, say, oh, my life is luck. Now he's in jail. Because he killed some actor from Lebanon. And that's my luck. Now we can get this guy. Now Australia panic. Because this guy is under our hands. He gonna let us a lot of information. And as you're panicking, they worry. I think maybe soon they're gonna come and tell me, please don't go Egypt again. Or maybe they're gonna give me the 10 million. Sorry, I'm gonna keep shut up. Because it's big amount of money. Well, now, Australian government, they tell us a lot of lie. Now, they give me this report, as you say in the report in 2002. They aware I never have anything to do with the terrorism before and even after 2002. But the question is, why the ASIO and Australian government let me go on Guantanamo Bay until 2005? No one asked the government this question. And they want to say, the Inspector General doesn't ask the government why, but they ask the government, you should apologize for my wife. Because she is in Guantanamo Bay, she was under torture, she was underground, and they should apologize for my wife, not for me, because they take me wrong and send me in Guantanamo Bay. See how honest people? Vivian Thomas. She's a nice lady. She's the biggest liar on earth. And I did tell her that. She lied. I told her, you are a liar, you are a dishonest person, and they know. Everyone in the government, I'm telling you, say, a lot of people, even the Attorney General, I contact them, tell them you are liars, you are dishonest. They know, they not reply because they know. They know they are liars. And I'll tell you some different issues. Maybe you're not aware about your government so much. I have a letter in 2006 from Australian government. The Attorney General, the head of the lawyers, his name, they want advisor for the Attorney General, his name, Jeff Mamdouh. Remember this name, Jeff Mamdouh. He sent a letter to my lawyer and he said, we never apologize for Mr. Habib, 2006. This guy is the same person come with me in a private flight from Guantanamo Bay to here. His name, Jeff Mamdouh, the same person. When I saw him, I was surprised. So you the guy, he came with me in the flight. You the guy, he gave me $200 and said that's my belong. They stolen all my stuff. And Australia said, we have no idea where is your stuff. Even my watch I love, I have a very nice watch, my wife gave it to me, they're stealing from me. That's why I asked the government to give it back to me. Until now I don't have it. But Jeff Mamdouh, he wrote a letter to my lawyer. He told him, we're never going to apologize for Habib. Jeff Mamdouh, when we done the settlement, me and my wife and the barrister from the Commonwealth's lawyer, and I have someone, a lawyer, come with me to witness the signatures and to give us advice. And the government is already corrupting. They threatened. And we was in the meeting, in the room, 5 people. And Jeff Mamdouh, the same person, he said, we're not going to give apology for Habib. It's the same person. He signed the agreement and they make a compensation for me for what I've been through. And I'm going to meet him again with the biggest apology. Because he's involved with the corrupt. It's the same people in the government. The same people involved. Nothing different between John Howard and Gillette. All the same. Trust me. They sit next to each other. They have a coffee together in the morning. But in the afternoon they're fighting. Because this one he wants his office to get bigger. This one he wants a mirror in his office. This is, he needs to be clean his toilet. That's what they're fighting for. They're not fighting for us. They're not fighting to get you right. They're fighting to get their right from each other. They're fighting who's going to have a power. They're using me and the others and the Aborigine to get more power. Like the Howard and Glade and all these people, the Attorney General, even now the Green, they do the same thing. Bob Brown, he used to be very good to me. Now suddenly, he said, oh, where is the report? This report, no one get it from me, only me I get it. If I'm not fight for this report, and this is part of the, what they call it, freedom information. They've been refused since December. They say, no, Mr. Habib, we're not going to give you a report. Why? This Vivian, the lawyer, she told me, if you now come and do a statement in my office, we will arrest you. If I'm not give interview to this criminal, I will be arrested. Before the interview starts, she said, we give you a copy of the interview. After an investigation, we'll give you a copy of the investigation. And what happened? 1 year for investigation. After 1 year, lying and lying and lying, and lying, and lying. We got at least 2 truths. They say 2002, they are aware I'm not a terrorist and all this, but as truths, at least once, they have to say something good. And all the rest is lie. And I tell you, she said, I'll give you the report. And we go to the media, we ask the media to contact Vivian. She said, oh, the report is out, but we can give it to you, Mr. Habib, up to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said, we're not going to give you a report, it's up to you. Do whatever you want. We ask for review. They say no. Then they tell me, you get some money, why not be quiet? I said, it's not enough money, I need some more. and the Prime Minister said, no, Mr. Habib, get lost, I'm not going to give you any more. And that's it. And the report is out, get lost. And that's why she did release this report. Because I told her I want more money, I'm not going to be shut up. She released some of the report. This report is not fully. This is 20% of the truth. But the national security is 80%, they're not allowed to release it. And I'll tell you what else. When they send this report, they release it to the media before me. They send me a letter, they say, Mr. Habib, we're not going to give you a report now. But I have a call from the media. They said, Mr. Habib, they got the report out. Did you know what's happening? I said, no. They told me, I have a letter now. They say, why not? They refuse to give me my report. I said, no, we have the copy of the report. I said, I'm entitled to. I said, well, tell us what the story. I told them the story. But I have another call from the lawyer from the United States. Vivian, the liar, she did report from one side only. She take it from me, and she'll find me I'm not reliable, but she find the others is reliable. And Mr. Alexander Downer and the others. Alexander Downer said in 2002, Mr. Habib, he find his way back from Egypt to Afghanistan. In 2002, they asked him himself. He said, Mr. Habib, they said he find himself from Egypt to Afghanistan. In 2002, they asked you himself, saying this report, Mr. Habib have nothing to do with any terrorism. How that work? When I asked Vivian, she said, I can't do anything for the prime ministers, like Alexander Downer, Philip Rodak, and John Howard. What's he use this report for? Only to try to make these people in the government innocent, and they say the system is wrong. That means the parliament itself is wrong. What's to do with me, with the system? They transfer me, kidnap me, torture, and say system is wrong? And the government will try to find me. Since 2002 to 2003, 2005, they couldn't find me where I am. How law is. Anybody knows Steve Kinney? He is the lawyer of David Hicks. He attended to Guantanamo Bay about 4 or 6 times. Australian government told him, don't give any information about Habib, don't ask about Habib in Guantanamo Bay, don't tell anybody about Habib when he come back. And he did undertaking before he go in Guantanamo Bay. Why Australia? This report is full of lie. Why the Inspector General doesn't ask Steve Kinney at least and tell him why we didn't tell Steve Kinney to find about Habib when he went into Guantanamo Bay. Steve Kinney, I heard about him. He was in Guantanamo Bay when I was there. He met with David Hicks so many times. David Hicks, his father, he visited him in Guantanamo Bay 12 times. What about Habib? They say, we have no idea where is Habib in Guantanamo Bay. But I tell you, the big lie is, we was in a passport case, me and my wife were on the case. All these people come in court and say, we see Habib, and he was in good condition, we talk with Habib. But the case was a national security. I'm not allowed to show it to people. But I tell you, my promise to you, this case is going to be in a book and it's going to be published in the street. I will do it. Well, I'm not trying to say we are a hero, but we're here to tell you to do the same thing. Because if this happened to me, don't ever think because you are white or green or blue, you're going to go away with this government. This government doesn't care about who you are. How corrupt you are, they love you. How you fall away, they love you. If you say no, you are a terrorist. Alright? Don't worry who you are. You're not safe. What we try to do, we're here to tell you the truth, and it's up to you to continue, or you by yourself. These people here, I don't know how many of these people, they stood up for me when I was in Guantanamo Bay. But because of these people and the noise they done, I've been released. And because of these people make noise for me, I'm gonna make proof for these people too. I stood up for them too, and I proved this government as a lie and dishonest and corrupt. And when I say corrupt, I mean it is corrupt. How many people in the parliament and work as ambassador, how much money they make overseas and what they do overseas, and ASIO. You know the ASIO, how much they get? The ASIO official in the note of the ASIO and in the court, they've been asking questions to the ASIO. Some of the hotel overseas, they kidnap people, put them in the hotel and touch him. In the hotel. And they back up the manager of the hotel. They say, how you allow torture in your hotel? They say, these people is agencies. I can't do anything about it. And also they are customer, they good customer. They pay me a day $50,000 a day. How much this bastard they get paid to touching people? How much? And they washing their hand. They say we're not doing anything, we're not involved. The Egyptian, they watch. They have the bar. They took out, they wanna do it. They wanna harm you. But they took out, I'm telling you, they are cowed. They couldn't do it. Because they can't, they can't. But they send somebody to do it. They give money to people to do the job for them. Because when you take them in court, say, we've never done it. They protect each other. Why? Because this is the crime. Has the assess the police work, federal police, and I'm telling you, I say 120 of these people, they come in court and lie. They come in court to swear. And Bible said, we say the truth. We see Habib and he was in good condition, we try to protect him. But today they called this Inspector General completely different. They hold my passport for 6 years. After I've been released, and they say they aware I haven't done anything in 2002. I'm a victim of the United States and a victim of the Egyptian. And we have nothing to do with him. But why they hold my passport? After I came back from 2005 until 2011. Why they done that? If the government, they believe I have nothing to do with any terrorism. And when I went court, what surprised me, the lawyer of the Commonwealth stood up in the front of the judge and he said, Mr. Habib, if he wants overseas and he take his passport, he will do terrorist attack with his wife. My wife, she's a big terrorist. Don't tell anybody, please. It's a big corrupt and big lie, and you have to be strong. And I'll tell you the good news is, I'm gonna take the ASIO court for lie. I swear to you. But I need your support. Trust me, I take the ASIO. Very soon you're gonna hear it in court. I'm gonna get this bastard from where he is now, Richardson. I'm gonna grab him from his neck. I'm gonna get him in court. I will. and the federal police as well, because they've been lying. They're giving lie evidence in court and say Habib, he's not entitled for his passport because he's a terrorist. But this report from Vivian, my lawyer friend, she said Mr. Habib is a good person since 2002. Who to believe? But our Prime Minister is no apology. Now we want to sit in one where we are, I don't know. And she told me if you want to sue in the Egyptian, sue in. If you want to sue the American, sue in. But I need the evidence, I need document to sue these people. But all the document is national security. I need some document. That's what I'm going to ask the judge in Australia. To give me some document, please, to sue in the United States and Egypt. And now, I'm come all the way here to tell you, we are in the hands of the criminal government. And trust me, it's the biggest criminal and liar. They lie to you, they lie to us, they lie about democracy, they lie about human rights, they lie about justice. They have nothing to believe. They're stealing, they do anything to harm us. But they're too busy to collecting money to enjoy themselves. But when it comes to our hand, they look good. But in their hand, it's too good. Because they're too good to us. They're too good to us. Who she said, who's she going to apology or not apology? I'm not need her apology. I'm not my wife, I'm not need her apology. I need her money. To fight her. To make her look bad. Because these people have to fight. You fight with these people in this world. It's no more. You can in this Australia, they say, it's no guns. Here the law is the guns. And the law need money. Sorry if any lawyer here, I don't trust the lawyers anymore too. But I'm lawyer myself. I stood up in the front of the court. The last time the judge told me, please Mr. Habib, can you bring lawyer with you? Because I said, I know I'm too, my language, I'm a woke. I'm not really Australian, I'm a woke. That's why I was in Guantanamo Bay underground. Because I'm black, as she said, I'm a black eye. Say, and I can't do anything about it. I try very hard, but I speak 6 languages. But I lost 3 in Guantanamo Bay. But I still got 3. I'm lucky. Anyway, I'm really proud to see this amount of people here today. I'm very happy to answer any questions. I got too much to say, but if I'm gonna say what's going on, I'm gonna stay here for 3 or 4 days. But I'm really appreciated. These people invite me here today, and I came in, and I really respect what you do, and I respect you here today. And any question, I'm more than happy. And I'm telling you, read my book. It's very interesting because this is the answer I try to hold. It's because it's no law to stop me to get this book, but what they corrupted the publisher to not allow outside. But I have the right, and I take all this book is me. Anyone interested to call me, I'm happy to give him. If you have no money, you have it for free. If you have money, you have to pay. Thank you very much, and have a good night.